Hello everybody, you're welcome back again to the Reggae Appreciation Society. When considering reggae royalty, it's almost a unanimous decision that Lucky Dube and Alpha Blondy are two of the greatest reggae artists to come out of Africa, with Alpha Blondy arguably edging it as the all-time king of the continent's reggae scene. Since his official debut in 1981, he's released countless classics that are often inspired by true-life events, and one of the most iconic and mysterious of all of his songs was a 1987 masterpiece which had a backstory that has intrigued fans, with a large number of them ascribing the subject matter to a life-saving encounter that Alpha Blondy had with an angel at the lowest point in his life. The song in question is the effervescent, beautiful sonic explosion titled Sweet Fanta Diallo. To really get a grip on what inspired this track, we need to take a look at Alpha Blondy's life leading up to 1987, as it all ties in with what the song was all about. On New Year's Day in 1953, a couple in Dimbokro in present-day Côte d'Ivoire welcomed their first son. They named him Seydou, and the boy would develop a passion for music from a very young age and formed a band while still in high school. The music affected his schoolwork terribly, and despite the best efforts of his then high school sweetheart, he would eventually get expelled and moved to the neighboring country Liberia to study English around 1972. His high school sweetheart encouraged him to build on his English qualification and seized an available opportunity to travel to the US to study, which he did in 1974 after getting admission to a degree program at the prestigious Columbia University in New York. When he arrived in the States, he was already a big fan of reggae music, but his path to a life of reggae was sealed after he was paired in the same room with a Jamaican student. He got exposed to a thriving reggae scene in New York and made attempts to balance his love for music with his path to a career in teaching when things started to go wrong. According to many accounts, he became addicted to angel dust and lost his bearing. His schoolwork suffered as he tried to record an album, but he got cheated by a shady producer who took all of his money and still made away with his master tapes. After 5 crazy years, he found his way back to Côte d'Ivoire without a degree and nothing to show for all his time in the US. To add to his problems, he had to face a very disappointed family who expected him to come back with a career and a shiny suit, but instead he came back penniless with dreadlocks on his head. He suffered a nervous breakdown soon after returning and spent a long term in a psychiatric hospital in the capital city of Abidjan. Those were the toughest days of his life, but he fought his way back by writing songs that would later bring him great success. After leaving the hospital, he had written a ton of songs and still had a strong desire to make it in music. This desire, coupled with a chance meeting with a childhood friend, helped him take his dreams to the next level. One day, he had bumped into an old pal named Roger Fulgence Cassie, who was at the time a television producer, and Cassie gave him the chance to compete in a talent contest on a TV show called First Chance, and he knocked the opportunity out of the park, delivering a brilliant performance that caught the attention of a producer called George T. Benson. It was Benson who would finance his debut album in 1981. He adopted the name Alpha Blondy, which literally means first or number one bandit. And his debut album, titled Jah Glory by Alpha Blondy and the Natty Rebels, became a big hit that sold over 1 million records. His next album, Cocody Rock, became an even bigger success when it was released in 1984. It was a critical and commercial success with amazing instrumentalists that included the Barrett Brothers from Bob Marley and the Wailers. It was closely followed by the amazing Apartheid is Narcissism album, which came out in 1985, which is considered as one of his best and is my personal favorite. His fifth album, Revolution, came out in 1987 and was the continuation of an astonishingly prolific music career and contained one of Blondy's most popular and beloved tracks in Sweet Fanta Diallo. Due to the way his songs are written, the backstories always make for rich discussions by fans of his music. But this particular song has inspired some of the most bizarre theories in reggae music history. As the story goes, while Alpha Blondy was still at the psychiatric hospital between 1979 and 1980 after returning from the States, he was taken care of closely and tenderly by a beautiful nurse named Fanta Diallo, who showed him so much love, care and attention that he recovered quicker than expected. It was said that after getting discharged, he went back to the hospital to thank this beautiful nurse for all she had done for him, only to be told that there was no one working there by that name. It was said that Blondy left the hospital convinced that Fanta Diallo was an angel sent by God to heal him and give him a second chance in life. He went straight home and penned the lyrics to the song that would become one of his biggest hits 7 years later. Sweet Fanta Diallo went up to number 24 on the French charts and stayed there for 10 whole weeks. It's an energetic, upbeat, charming song with Blondy's piercing voice riding a killer rhythm, and the lyrics fuel the rumor of an angelic encounter, as it contained lines like Fanta melted away with the sun, Fanta flew away under the sun, Fanta walking on the rainbow now. Last time I saw her was in a psychiatric hospital. This intriguing story spread among the Afro-Blondy fan base for years and was accepted by many to be the truth, until Blondy himself broke the true story in an interview on French television in 2015. He confirmed that Sweet Fanta Diallo wasn't about an angel in the hospital, but about a high school sweetheart who actually went by that name. Remember, at the beginning of this video, we talked about this high school sweetheart who supported him in school while he was busy skipping classes to play music with his band. It turns out she was a real-life angel to him. Not only was she doing his homework for him, but after he got kicked out of school, she was the one who encouraged him to go study in the US and even paid for his flight ticket to the States with all of her savings. Apparently, he forgot all about her by the time he got to America, but even after his 5-year stay and disappointing return, she still used to visit him and offer encouragement while he was on admission at the psychiatric hospital. She inspired him to get well and keep pushing to make it in music no matter what. It was after he recovered that his life turned around and eventually became the king of African reggae. He still considered Fanta to be the most significant person in his life and wrote the song to crystallize his love, gratitude and regrets concerning their relationship. Fanta Diallo and Blondy remained friends, but she had moved on romantically and got married soon after he left the hospital. She passed on in 2004, just like the lyrics of the song had predicted. She flew away with the sun, Fanta walking on a rainbow now. Even if Fanta Diallo actually wasn't a spirit being with wings and white robes behind closed doors, she embodied the work of an angel in Afro-Blondy's life, and not only inspired him to create just one of the most beautiful love songs in reggae history, but also inspired him to make a comeback from mental wreck to the legendary icon that we know and love today. I can bet that this would have made Sweet Fanta Diallo very proud. So there you have it. Thank you for watching the video today. Please leave a like, subscribe, and until next time, Jah bless.